What's going on, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Expected Bets for your go-to podcast for all things hockey betting. I am Gator Betting, joined by my two co-hosts today. We got Gretzky Betskis and Franco the Banker, our penultimate team here in the Pacific Division. We're going to be breaking down the Vancouver Canucks today. Interesting team this year. We kind of talked about it with the Kings. In terms of those first two spots in the Pacific Division, we see Vegas and Edmonton. From there, it gets interesting. You kind of have that third team being LA, Vancouver even to make the playoffs, which we can get to in a bit here. But in terms of kind of their off-season acquisitions here, Adam Foote takes over as head coach here. They bring in Evander Kane and Joseph on the back end. Betsky, really not much kind of besides Adam Foote. I guess, do we think he's going to be the guy? Do we think last season, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong for this team here. So do you think he's the guy that kind of turns the ship around a little bit?
I don't know if it's going to be him who turns the ship around, but they needed to get Tocchet out of there and just sweep that whatever was going on in the locker room out of there. So I think that should help. I think that will automatically give this team a little bit of a boost. I also think their biggest acquisition was last year with Marcus Pettersson, along with the other Elias Pettersson. Well, I think he was actually one of their prospects, but Marcus Pettersson, we didn't get to see too much because it was close to the deadline, and Philip Hedl coming in for JT Miller as well.
Yep.
Those two players need to take another step with this team, and Pettersson being a really good kind of shutdown defenseman should really help the blue line, especially with guys like Tyler Myers getting a little bit older. I think this could be the Pettersson FU Tour type season, both Marcus and the two Eliases here, but primarily number EP40 here. If he can come back around to being a top 7 center in the league, 100-point player, you really can't count this team out, especially because they have solid enough goaltending when it's healthy in Thatcher Demko. We've seen Pettersson be able to do this with a similar roster. Granted, JT Miller was also a 90-plus point player on it. But it's never like this. Either of those guys have been surrounded by top-notch wingers. Those players are pretty much the same here, even though DeBrusk will now be on his second year, and Evander Kane is kind of your new addition to that top 6.
Yeah. Franco, they lose Suter, Dakota Joshua. Those are kind of the big two departures here. But we talked about everything going wrong for this team. They still finished 5th in the Pacific last year, given kind of the strength of this division itself. They also had 90 points, not necessarily like they were completely out of this playoff race. Like, this is a team that I feel like can turn things around and I think get back to the postseason this year.
Yeah, I don't necessarily love the loss of Suter because now you're moving a guy up in Hedl that really has not proven to be able to stay healthy. So what does that center depth look like if Hedl gets hurt like he has been? You cannot count on him for 82 games. And then you're shifting up Atu Ratti and Bluger will be your third line center. That starts to get really ugly. Now, if Hedl can stay healthy, like right now, these lines on paper look good. This looks like a team that could, be on the fringe of playoffs.
Yeah.
So, and like you guys said, you have a good goalie. If Quinn Hughes stays healthy, how different is that season for that team last year as well if Quinn Hughes stays healthy? It's been a lot of unfortunate events, like you said. I don't want to get repetitive with it, but I think a healthy Quinn Hughes coming into the season, new voice in the locker room, can really maybe hopefully breathe life into this team that, at least on paper, looks pretty good.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, we'll just get right into the betting preview here. Betsky, their season points total is at 90.5 on DraftKings, 89.5 on FanDuel.
I leaned over here. So 2 reasons.
Yes.
This team has to show Quinn that they can be competitive enough if they want to keep him, right? So I think this is a team, much like Edmonton with the McDavid situation, that will do things in order to keep their superstar. unlike a team like LA, this team has 2 game breakers with Elias Pettersson and Quinn Hughes on it. LA probably is a deeper team. Overall, I like Vancouver's blue line more. Overall, I like, LA's forward group more. But again,
Goaltending edge.
100-point goaltending edge
absolutely.
as well.
Towards
So
Vancouver.
I really only think there's 3 teams going into the playoffs from the Pacific.
Agreed.
And if it comes down to Vancouver and LA battling, I think there's just as good of a shot that Vancouver can bump them out. So that's why I lean the over. Now, if things start to go awry and this team moves Quinn Hughes in January to the Devils, all bets are off. So I think that it's a riskier bet to get the Vancouver win total over than LA's, but part of me is almost more confident in it.
I mean, my thought process on this too, of instead of taking their team total points, let's say FanDuel's got the lowest one at 89.5, minus 106. FanDuel has them to make the playoffs at plus 115. I think they can edge out LA this season if everything goes right for this team. I think they have the roster to do so. So taking their odds at plus 115 to make the playoffs, I think that's kind of my approach with this team this year, rather than kind of going maybe they'll middle around. But if things go awry, you're still not laying minus 115 or minus 106 on their season points total here.
I will pour a little bit of cold water on that, though, because if we're talking 89.5, so that means 90 points. Last year, the Flames missed the playoffs with 96. Vancouver missed it with 90 as well. We kind of have already gone through the majority of this division at this point, right? We're not thinking too highly on Seattle, San Jose, Calgary. Maybe the Ducks are better. But yeah, I mean, Anaheim win total wise, I don't know how good they're going to be either. So I could see a situation where they have enough points, but if that other division, the Central, is better, and it's between them and the Kings, and maybe the Kings edge them out, you lose that make the playoffs bet, but you win the point total bet. So
yeah, but
you're not getting enough juice difference. Like if it was like plus 180 or plus true. 160 or plus 200 or something, then yes, I would say take that. But considering we're talking about like 115 and minus 106 for the 89.5, I don't think there's enough of a difference for me. I'll take that 90 and go there.
Yeah.
Fair.
No, I think that is a fair point here. And I think we're pretty convinced here that is going to be basically kind of like what we saw last year with the Atlantic and Metro, of 3 coming out of the Pacific and probably five actually coming out of the Central here. Getting into some team futures and player futures here. I want to start with the awards here before we dive into some player futures here. Adam Foote, 25-1 to win the Jack Adams here. And here's my thought process, right? Last year, Carberry won it with the Capitals here. Before that, Tocchet won it with the Canucks. Montgomery won it with the Bruins. You see a lot of times of these teams who miss the playoffs, and then they kind of have this revitalized year coming off. I think, like we talked about it, Vancouver's ceiling, I think, is higher than LA's if everything goes right for this team and those depth players come along here. Demko has an outstanding season, stays healthy. I don't necessarily think it's out of the picture for him to kind of be the guy that's credited with turning this team around. So at 25-1, I don't hate it. I know, Betsky, I think you're going to be on your guy to win this award this season with Utah. But in a pure value bet here, look at 2 years ago. They were challenging the Edmonton Oilers. They lost in 7 in that one. But this team, if Pettersson and Hughes kind of show their superstarness, one of those words, I think Foote's in contention to win this award.
I don't hate it. No, I don't hate that at all. Makes me want to even maybe take it up a notch too and say, if they would have the point totals needed for Foote to win the award, does that mean Thatcher Demko is a Vezina candidate? And at plus 4,000, that somewhat interests me too.
I agree with that one. That's one I had circled as well.
go even
It's all about,
further.
it's all about health with him.
Absolutely, yes. It's very risky. But I think I really feel like there's going to be a team that has not been in the playoffs for a very long time that makes it this year, and that coach gets it. And I think that's kind of your Utah, maybe Anaheim.
Isn't he rough? If the Sabres make the playoffs, it's
Detroit. It probably is, to be honest.
Yeah.
Let's give it to Lindy and let him retire.
Yeah, exactly. Going even further off that Vezina bet, the William N. Jennings, Demko, and Lankinen. Lankinen's probably going to play the amount of games needed here. Demko at 80-1 and Lankinen at 100-1 here. If you really want to get crazy, piggybacking off that, I don't necessarily think that's the worst combination of goaltenders to win this award.
It's a good combo, and you have a good blue line in front of you.
Yep.
So, and your coach is a former defenseman. We'll see what his, what he employs as far as his scheme and all that fun stuff. But there's pieces there that could potentially help this.
Any kind of futures that you guys are looking at in terms of players? Pettersson is at 76.5 points. Hughes is at 84.5. Hughes had 76 last year. Pettersson had 45. Both did not play the full season, obviously. But Betsky, any one of those jump out to you?
The Pettersson one for sure. I mean, and the Hughes one, to be honest. Both of those seem great.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're healthy, I think that's the low end of what they can produce.
Yeah, I mean, you look back, 89 points for Pettersson in 23, and then 102 the year prior. So, if he bounces back, like we're saying, it's very possible. He has skill. I mean, the guy's skillful. Yep. Maybe he got an off season to get his head right. I mean, it's between his ears where the issues are. Not.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, 76.
And I think I saw some reports that he's bulked up a little bit too. I think. I could be wrong.
Plus 450 to have 90 points this year for Pettersson. I don't necessarily think that's out of the picture either.
No, I don't mind that. I don't.
Yeah.
Power play looks a little bit weaker without Miller on it, but I mean, everything else is the same.
Yeah.
In the forward group. And
this could be a team that acquires at the deadline as well. Like you guys said, like in an attempt to keep Hughes, like if they are on that cusp, right? Why wouldn't they be adding more firepower?
Yeah. Or early. I mean, if they have a bad October and November, I can see them adding a big forward piece. If they have a good October, November, I can see them doing that. And we got a team like Pittsburgh who has Brian Rust or Rickard Rakell, who would be perfect fits.
Oh, yeah,
who is a team that's probably going to be selling.
Yeah.
I mean, Malkin could come over. I mean, there's kind of a lot of opportunities on the tank teams because there's some new ones who haven't outright gutted their team already. Like San Jose doesn't have pieces to give. Chicago doesn't have pieces to give. Flames, Pittsburgh, and Boston all do.
Yeah, and I mean, why if you were this GM, why the hell would you not make every effort to push this team over the edge this season with Quinn Hughes and say, hey, like we are for real. We're putting our best foot forward for you, and we want you to stay here. We're acquiring talent with the thought that you're going to stay here, and we're going to keep being a competitive team. We're not selling. We're not going to tank. I don't see any reason why not. So you add more talent to this team, it just bolsters everybody else around them.
I'm really liking their point total now, and I'm now really liking to place a bet for LA to not make the playoffs. I think we're talking.
Join the team here. I mean, we talked about it before. LA to miss the playoffs at plus 260.
Plus 260.
Yeah, that's a good price.
Your hedge is them to lose in the first round at plus 160 too. Like both are plus money here, and then you throw your third future here on the Canucks to make the playoffs at plus 115.
or even just that point total to
89.5.
That's true.
That way you
That's
don't get
true.
spanked 3 times.
That's my
LA
favorite.
makes it. They win the first round, and Vancouver makes the play, or what was it? Hits their point total, but misses the playoffs.
No, I mean,
Calgary put up 96 last year and missed. So just keep that in mind.
Yep.
So
that's fair.
That might be my favorite.
I got
bet.
one more award question. How do you guys feel about Quinn Hughes Norris?
I love it. I hate the price though.
I do too. And is this at plus 220 now? You're still getting to double your money. I do like this as a way to have a little bit of a hedge, or go big on some other names like maybe a Darlene or. I mean, I'm sure McCarr's numbers are. He's got to be a favorite, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, McCarr's probably like 150 if I were just guessing off the top of my head. But I mean, I honestly I thought Hughes should have been right there with McCarr last year. I understand that McCarr had a damn good productive season, but if we're talking the importance to a team, I think Quinn Hughes is probably I don't even think it's probably. I think he is the most important player, defenseman at least, on a team to his team.
I agree.
Success. Like he should have been in the Hart Trophy, not like.
That's what I was going to bring up. Is the Hart now in play for him?
I don't think it's that crazy. I mean, it's hard, but just as a defenseman. But I mean, when they lost him, they just started losing. It's night and day. This team with and without him.
If they turn things around and he puts up, let's say, 90 points this year, maybe even 100. Make the playoffs. He's got to be in that conversation.
It's just hard because there's always a forward that puts up like ridiculous numbers, whether it's a high goal total, a high point total. That's the problem. It's hard as a defenseman. You
need a lot of things to go wrong, along with him having in addition to him having a good season.
Yeah.
All right. Any other bets for this team? Seems like we've kind of got a lot here. We're pretty high, at least on the possible ceiling of the Canucks this year. Not necessarily, at least kind of, they do have a pretty optimistic outlook if everything kind of lines up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm buying what they're selling.
I like it. All right. We want to thank everyone for listening to this episode of Expected Bets 4. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. All right. Once more, thank you guys for listening, and we will talk to you guys next episode. See ya.